How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We got another Dokkan Battle video for you here today. We have the EZA for the Dokkan Fest EZA Raditz. I know many of you guys have long expected this EZA, and we're going to be taking a look at it here in this video. So, starting with his basic effects, we got Key 2, attack defense 250%, damage reduction rate 30%. When attacking with 12 or more Key, we got 250% attack, defense 250%, and as the first attacker in the turn, he gets an additional 30% damage reduction once only. When facing one enemy or when we have a Nappa on the team, we get 200% attack and launches an additional super attack while in the third slot. Or 100% attack, great chance of performing a critical hit if the enemy is 60% or less when attacking with 12 or more Key. As well, when we have two enemies or a Vegeta on the team, we get 300% defense, additional 300% defense before attacking, damage reduction rate 20% as the first attacker in the turn, and performs a critical hit. An attack's guaranteed to hit within the turn after receiving an attack. As well, if we ever deliver the final blow, we would get an additional Key 2. Now, we do have this guy at max links. We got him rainbow status, and I'm really interested to see how it did. I mean, we all know the memes from his release. He was kind of not good. But they really improved everything, including his super attack effect, which now gives him stacking for 4 turns. So for this first turn, we're actually going to float him. So basically, the way I want to structure this is we're going to have 2 setup turns here. We're gonna show 1 turn with him in the third slot, and 1 turn with him in the first slot. So just so you can kind of see the difference in the performance. I do think he typically, outside of like that 1 extra damage reduction turn, he's probably going to want to be in the third slot. So you see here, he's got 600. He's got 600k. Start a turn defense, which isn't terrible with all the with the damage reduction he's got, and knowing how quickly he's going to build up about this, right? Like after his supers this turn, he's going to be around 2 million. So it'll be interesting for sure. I'm curious to see how in this fight we're going to. I'm curious to see how in this fight we're going to be offensively. I mean, I'm not going to try to push the envelope on the offense in this. This is more just kind of testing him out, and which is also the reason we specifically chose the special battle part 2 for the anniversary. So 37 coming out the gate. Nothing too crazy there. Vegeta isn't his best partner though. Actually, Nappa is, but. We do have 3 links, so it's not terrible. We get an additional super for 39 million. Yeah, so the reason I chose this fight is because it is there are 2 enemies. We can see that we can have the multiple enemy passive, even though we do have a Vegeta, but also, you know, just to see how well his damage can dealing with multiple enemies. And here we go. So we got Vegeta rocking it here with his super on Raditz. And how do we tank this? Double digits, very nice. Okay, that is definitely the stuff you like to see. All right, so I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna put Nappa in front, and we'll keep Vegeta on, and then we'll float off Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think that's what I want to do here. So let's yeah, let's shift this over just a little bit. Excellent, very good. So yeah, I mean, this fight, you don't have to worry. I mean, Vegeta's second super can kind of catch you off guard. But since we're not attacking him, we don't have to worry too much. It's kind of once he starts building up that we have to worry. Because otherwise, it's only a 4 million super until we start attacking him. But once we start attacking him and that gets built up to 300%, it could be a bit dangerous. So I am curious to see how this plays. And I mean, it's not... We are kind of hitting him here and there. With these AoEs, so that'll be interesting. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, so we have the STR Nappa and the Tech Reddits on the team here. I mean, we're not really showcasing them, right? So we'll move them around as needed. We may not necessarily keep them on rotation, but we'll see. Excellent. All right, so no no EX Super on the Diamond Super Saiyan 4 Goku. That's fine. I mean, I'm really only concerned with that on kind of the final turn once we get Raditz in that slot 1. But we'll see. Excellent. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking. Okay, so we try to stall one more turn. That way we have a we have a decent giant form turn with Goma. And then we'll float off Raditz. And we're floating off Raditz because obviously we want that 50%. And remember, he does support for 3 turns when we float him, so that's the main reason we're gonna put him in 3rd slot. But I almost wonder if maybe we should have floated off Vegeta actually. Alright, Goma going things here. Yeah, I almost wonder if we should have floated off Vegeta, because if we floated off Vegeta, we could get we can get a pretty insanely supported turn for Raditz. Yeah, I wonder if we should have done that. Maybe we should have floated Vegeta. Well, we'll see how this plays out. Alright, not bad, not bad. Alright, and then Vegeta here gonna go ahead and start proccing his supers. And remember, he's got a 70% chance of doing an additional super, and we just missed one of them. And he gets that 150% build with each one that we do. And we only did 2 supers. Wow, that's terrible. Okay. Alright, so Raditz stacking up there. Remember, he is an infinite stacker. Definitely going to have to do a festival run with this guy just to see how that goes. It'll be interesting. There we go. All right, and we get the dodge on Tech Raditz. Okay, so here's kind of the turn that I wanted to see. So Goku now, well, actually, I don't think he changes. So Goku is a 6 million super. Yeah, and I don't think it builds up, okay? But Vegeta is built up a little bit, right? We've hit him a few times now. Not quite the full 300%, but he's got at least 100% build by now. So it'll be interesting to see how Raditz tanks here. So remember, once only, we have that extra 30% damage reduction on Raditz here. So how does this do against the Goku? Double digits. Although that did lower our attack. I don't like that. I hate that. Okay, so now Vegeta Super. Oh, we dodge it. Okay. Okay, and then we hit back with 54 million. Okay, all right. We take those. We take those. Excellent. All righty, and we get an additional super for 57. Yeah, so I do think once we drop Vegeta below 60%, where we would definitely want to have him in the 3rd slot. I don't know if we'll be able to set that up, right, without, we might run the risk of him not being able to attack if we do that. So we might, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, thinking about the setup turn here, I'm thinking we shouldn't have floated Raditz. We should have kept Raditz on the other rotation since he had a safe slot there, and put Vegeta over there, because we could have had a nasty supported turn here if we were to 3rd slot Raditz on the next turn. But I mean, I also really wanted to see him take this hit though, because that's kind of the thing. And I already know on his, if you get the triple super on his 1st appearance, he will tank Bio Broly in the 2nd slot on his next appearance, or in the 1st slot, sorry, on his next appearance. So, I mean, that just gives you an idea of how good he is. All right, so we're gonna pop the giant form active here. All right, let's grab that. Let's grab that, and then we're gonna grab this one. There we go. So that way we set up the AGL key spheres for the support there for the Vegeta. Excellent. We get another one. All right, so I ideally, we drop UI Goku with Goma in his giant form. Or I guess maybe we don't, because then if we don't, it just it gives us a better shot of being able to set up a good turn for Raditz on the next rotation. The unfortunate thing with Raditz is that I don't like is, I mean, he's not really going to be he's not viable in slot 2. Okay, well, okay, I shouldn't say he's not viable. He'll be fine defensively in slot 2, but his offense takes a drastic drop if we put him in slot 2. You really want him either in slot 1 or in slot 3. And slot 3 is kind of where he's going to be better off, at least in terms of offense. Okay, so I'm not going to use the Nappa active skill, but I will use, I will just swap into Nappa so we can just let him tank the hits there. Alright, so let's use Diamond Goku's active so we can guarantee get an EX Super this turn. Just to buff up the next turn a little bit. There we go. Alright, so down goes UI Goku. We'll grab that. And then we'll take that. Perfect. Alright, and then Goma hits that 84 million. Excellent. One more. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so we might have to slot one Raditz for this next one, just so he can get that offense. There we go. And we do get the X Super for 79 million on the Goku. Very nice. And then we get the additional super. Okay, kind of hope that's the only that's the only one we get. Okay, I'll take a normal. That's fine. Perfect. And then now Nappa doesn't do any damage because he's not getting hit. But yeah, looking at that HP, we're probably not going to be able to get away with a third slot Raditz for the offense. So we're just going to have to slot one him. Which, I mean, is not the end of the world, but it obviously doesn't put us in the position we want. So let's pop the Nappa active, and that's just because I'm doing this because Nappa as he gets hit is obviously going to build up Raditz, help Raditz get built up with that support that he gets from getting hit. Yeah, okay, all right, let's do that. Okay, perfect. Let's do that, and then there we go. All right, so Nappa's going to take those hits. 1, 2. There we go. We get the third. All right, so we get one of Nappa's procs for the support. Plus, we have Tech Raditz offering his support too. So 47 million. So, like I thought, right, this turn he's a little bit less offensive because he's not getting hit. And obviously, since the enemy is below 60%, we would obviously want to be in slots. We would want to be in slot 3 for that additional 200% attack. All right. Kind of wish Nappa got a few more hits in. Is that going to take him down? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Maybe we could have gotten away with it. All right. So there you have it, folks. There is the Fizz Raditz EZA. All right. I really like using this stage as a showcase for him just because it's multiple enemies. So, right, since he does have an area of effect attack, we can kind of see how that impacts him. Again, for the most part, you're probably going to be running this guy in the third slot unless you need that quick first slot turn, which, I mean, there are situations where dropping him in the first slot will be helpful. But if you really want to make the most out of him, you're probably going to have him in the third slot for most of the time, right? In fact, if we had put him in the third slot there with the 60% or less, right, we would have seen a significant increase in offense. But with the way we kind of played it, be showing both his third slot performance and his first slot's performance within a single video, we're obviously not going to get that. But definitely as we do the Grand Tour, you're going to see more of his third slot performance. So I did wait for the Vegeta and Nappa's Grand Tour specifically for this EZA because the Grand Tour will basically be centered around the Saiyan Saga team as a whole, showcasing both the power of AJL, Vegeta, and Nappa and the Fizz Raditz together on this team. That'll be how the structure is. So in case you guys were wondering where that video is, it's coming up soon. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, what do you think of Fizz Raditz's EZA? This is Masterclass in EZA design. They handled him perfectly. They gave him that redemption arc he very much needed. But let us know what you think in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.